Whenever he spotted a luxury car, the man would lead with a sharp elbow to the window to test the waters. Seeing that no alarm was triggered, Mike immediately doubled back to the driver's side, whipped out a tennis ball, jammed it against the keyhole, and gave it a hard slam, popping the lock open with ease. Unable to hide his excitement, he slid into the driver's seat, scanned the interior, and locked eyes on the center console display. With practiced hands, he pulled a tool from his backpack, wedged it into the gap, and pried the LCD screen right out of the dashboard. But this small score wasn't enough. Mike rummaged through the rest of the cabin only to find a measly pair of sunglasses. Muttering about the owner being a cheapskate, he actually proceeded to relieve himself on the back seat, a sinister grin creeping across his face. Worried the owner might return, Mike grabbed his bag to bolt, but suddenly found the door wouldn't open. He scrambled to try the others, but they were all sealed tight, refusing to budge no matter how hard he slammed his shoulder against them. Panic set in. He crawled into the trunk and furiously kicked the rear windshield, but it was futile. His legs went numb from the effort, yet the glass didn't even crack. Out of options, he pulled out his phone to call for help, only to find zero signal, as if someone had installed a jammer. Desperate to escape, Mike pried open a maintenance panel, grabbed a wrench, and started hammering the windows maniacally. His hand went numb from the shock, but the glass remained pristine. Just as he was about to give up, he spotted a passerby. Clinging to hope, Mike pounded on the glass and screamed for help. What he didn't know was that the windows were soundproofed and heavily tinted. No matter how loud he screamed, the outside world heard nothing. Watching the cyclist ride away, Mike was swallowed by despair. Then a thought struck him. If he reconnected the console screen and restored the circuit, maybe the doors would unlock. He frantically rewired everything and snapped the screen back in, but the doors remained locked. Just as he was on the brink of a breakdown, the screen lit up. It was a call from the owner. Trembling, Mike answered. The owner calmly revealed he knew Mike was trapped and had no intention of letting him go. The car was a fortress, the windows reinforced and tinted so no one could see in. The owner added that Mike was the seventh thief to break in. The previous 6 had escaped, so he had rigged this car specifically to catch a thief alive and torture him to death. The owner hung up and kindly turned on the AC. At first, Mike greedily gulped the cool air, but soon the temperature plummeted and the fans roared to max power. The car was becoming a freezer, and the controls were dead. Within 3 minutes, Mike was shivering uncontrollably. Even stuffing newspapers into the vents didn't help. The bone-chilling air pierced through everything. Just as he was freezing into unconsciousness, the phone rang again. Mike answered immediately, begging for his life. He swore he was just a common crook and promised to turn over a new leaf and become a productive member of society if let go. The owner seemed swayed and gave him a 30-second window. If Mike could get someone to come help him, the doors would open. The countdown began. Mike frantically dialed his best friend, his ride or die, but the friend didn't believe a word of it. Mike had cried wolf too many times, and his friend assumed this life or death plea was just another lie. Time ran out before Mike could convince him. The signal jammer reactivated, and when Mike tried to beg the owner again, the line went dead, leaving him to freeze in the dark. As night fell, Mike accidentally bumped a switch, and the engine roared to life. He buckled up, slammed the car into reverse, and smashed into a utility pole, triggering the emergency unlock system. After 3 days trapped, he finally scrambled out. But then, he woke up with a start. It was all a dream. He was still locked in the freezing car, thinking of his pregnant wife. Mike was consumed by guilt and regret, wishing he had lived an honest life. But there were no second chances. The owner wasn't letting him go. In total despair, Mike grabbed a tool to end his own life, but stopped when he saw a man standing in front of the car. It was the owner. He got in, looking menacing, and shoved his phone in Mike's face. The screen showed a live stream of Mike inside the car. He had gone viral as the trapped thief. The owner had alerted the police and the press, and a crowd of onlookers had gathered to watch the show. With the audience assembled, the owner pulled a gun, dragged Mike out, and prepared to execute him in front of everyone. This brazen act provoked the police immediately. The chief ordered a sniper to lock onto the owner. If he pulled the trigger, they would take him out. Despite orders to drop the weapon, the owner seemed determined to play the vigilante hero for the cameras. But the moment the sniper fired, Mike did the unthinkable. He lunged forward and took the bullet for the owner. The act shattered the owner's hatred. The man he wanted to kill had just saved his life. The media went wild, pleading for leniency. In the end, through his genuine repentance and act of self-sacrifice, Mike earned everyone's forgiveness.